thank you all for hearing me out for a few minutes today. I'm not going to be quite as exciting as Sarah, but I'll try to do my best. How many of you are from the Upstate? So where are the rest of you from?
Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Ohio. Jamaica.
All right. Coming to visit you. Okay. Well, this is the Upstate of South Carolina, what we consider the Upstate, the upper third of South Carolina. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about what our organization does, what I do, and then how it connects into STEM, workforce development, and the importance of what we do. We are the regional economic development organization for the Upstate 10 counties of South Carolina. And what does that mean? We recruit industry. We go out and try to find industry all over the world that we can bring back to the Upstate of South Carolina. And our group has been around for about 16 years. We're composed of public and private sector members. We have 9 counties and 6 cities that are members of our group. We have about 180 private sector investors that are involved in our group. And so why do the private sector investors want to be involved in our group? Because they want to see economic development come here. The construction companies, architects, engineers, law firms, accounting firms, they want more business here. So we also work very closely with the South Carolina Department of Commerce, which is our state's economic development organization. And they give us money to market for the state because they don't want to do marketing, so they give it to the regions. There are 8 regions that do what we do within South Carolina. Why regions? If you look at economic development, literature, and data, and research, regions are more effective in recruiting industry, particularly regions with 1 million or more people. Our region has 1.4, almost 1.5 million people now. It's easier to go out and talk about a region when you can say that we have BMW, and we have Michelin, and we have ZF, and we have all these companies you see listed here, Bosch, and you go down the list and you can talk about similarities in what we do and why companies are successful. We sell ourselves as a advanced, innovative manufacturing region, and that's what we talk to people about. We go out, and I'm going to show you what our target industries are in a minute. We go out, and I know that those mean nothing to you, but I'm going to tell you what those mean. You can probably guess. We go out and recruit advanced materials, composites, that's what that is. Aerospace, aviation is huge in South Carolina, and that's because we have a lot of plastics companies, we have a lot of metals companies. We have now 2 carbon fiber companies here, and one that's about to be announced in Greenwood very soon, supporting the aviation industry, supporting Boeing, Airbus, Gulfstream, other companies that are in the Southeast. Automotive, we have BMW, and I'm going to talk more about this in a minute, but BMW came here in 1993. They now will have at the end of 2017, 8,800 employees. Their largest plant in the world. They make over 400,000 cars a year at the facility in Greer. They export 280,000 of those cars a year. They send them back to Europe. They send them to Germany. It's easier and more effective and cost effective to make them here and send them back than it is to make them there. And then life sciences. Life sciences is big. Now, all 50 states, maybe not Hawaii and Alaska, but 48 states are trying to get life sciences companies. We have some real advantages because Greenville Hospital System and what they're doing with USC and Clemson and Furman. We have the Greenwood Genetics Center, we have other things. So we go out and recruit. How do we do that? We do it several ways. First of all, we are a marketing organization. We market through our website. We have I hope that people would say we have an excellent website. We're actually changing it now to try to draw in more leads and prospects so we can find out who's looking at our website. We're going through that process right now. We go on about 25 trips a year to where the companies are. One of our staff members right now is in Israel calling on automotive companies, particularly in smart mobility, which is what iCar is doing, and iCar is involved in that. Another one of our staff members is in Tokyo right now calling on Japanese companies. We travel all over. You have to go where they are to bring them back here. So I like this slide because it kind of explains what we do a little bit. We are into awareness and identification and recruitment. We're trying to find the companies. The state and local economic development offices are also into recruiting, negotiating incentives, getting the company to land. The chambers of commerce are more into soil conditions. I don't like that term, but it is a pretty good term. How do we make the area here better? 10 at the top, which was mentioned earlier, that's also sort of the realm that they're in. But we're out there letting the world know the great things that go on in the upstate of South Carolina. Okay, so what does this have to do with STEM and STEAM and workforce development? Okay, since 2007, there have been announcements for 50,000 jobs, $15.26 billion in investment. That's just in the upstate of South Carolina. That's outpaced a lot of the southeast states during that time. But you cannot recruit these people unless you have people to go to work for them. You cannot go out there, and I can talk all day long, because that's my job. I get paid by the word. You cannot go out there and recruit industry if you don't have a workforce for the people to work in. You cannot continue to get these companies to come in. So that's why STEM and STEAM and all these things are so important. I'm gonna keep talking about this, but 2015, 1.3 billion in capital investment, 76 new companies. Of those 76, 30 were international companies that were either expanding or located here. 6,500 jobs created. This year, there's been 23 new, 14 existing. And I know y'all don't really care about this, but I'm talking about this because this is why we have to do what y'all were talking about here. A lot of companies, every company that you see listed here, these are advanced manufacturing, innovative companies. These are not unskilled jobs. They may have a few unskilled jobs. These are skilled jobs. If you think you can go to BMW or Michelin and work out there and not be skilled, you're wrong. So, and I apologize to all of our Clemson Tigers that are here for that hat. Our former marketing director was a Gamecock. She put that in there and we just haven't changed that. We sell ourselves in South Carolina as business friendly. What does that mean? We're right to work state. We have the lowest unionization rate of any state in the country, 2.1%. North Carolina used to be ahead of us. They're at 3.0%, and I'm really glad about that. Competitive tax structure. We do have a competitive tax structure. If you listen to some of our politicians, you think we have the highest taxes in the world. In South Carolina, we actually are 38, with 1 being terrible and 50 being the best. We're 38 for taxation in South Carolina. And then low-cost utilities. The numbers change depending on who you listen to, but for electricity, about the 4th lowest in the country. And so we can sell our area, but all that stuff is great and fine. But somebody tell me, what is the first question a prospect is gonna ask me about when they come and sit down with me in our boardroom at the Upstate Alliance? The first question. Somebody just guess. What? Yeah, where am I gonna get my people? Where am I gonna get people to go to work in this plant? And if they don't ask you that first, they're not a real prospect. If they ask you about getting a grant or some kind of incentives, or they're not gonna really come, because they're just living in money. So we have a great area for this. That's our governor, Nikki Haley, who many of you, or all of you from South Carolina, she's done a great job with economic development in South Carolina. We've got a great team, and we push it. That's what we do. We're an economic development state. We've been #1 attracting jobs through foreign investment for the state and the upstate. We have 581 foreign-owned companies in the upstate of South Carolina from 34 countries. How many of y'all knew that are from the upstate? And they're spread out all over. I mean, most of them you see are on the I-85 corridor, but every one of our counties has some of these international companies. And there's a reason why these companies want to come here. It's because the ones that have been here, like Michelin and Anderson and Greenville and Spartanburg County, BMW, Bosch, they've come here and they've been successful, and they tell the story to their friends over in Germany, and then they come and supply BMW, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And if you hear anybody on TV saying we need to put walls up at the borders and don't work with people overseas, I will tell you in a minute why that is not the correct thing. That's my only political statement of the day. This is why. The international trade. We do more international trade from South Carolina than you would believe. We're number 15 in the U.S. for exports, a small state like South Carolina. Trade supports more than 1 in 5 jobs. We're number 1 in exporting passenger automobiles, BMW, 280,000 cars going out of our port every year. Number 1 in synthetic staple fibers. You think that textiles are gone, they're not. Advanced textiles are here to stay. Number 1 ball and roller bearings and parts, Timken. Just talking to Sarah about that a minute ago, her dad works there. Number 1 in lawn mowers, did y'all know that? They make Husqvarna lawn mowers in Orangeburg, South Carolina. The number 1 in tires. We have 4 major tire companies in the state of South Carolina: Michelin, Continental, GT, and Bridgestone. Okay, so education. Why is education so important? We have a great education network. We have 30 institutions of higher education in the upstate of South Carolina. This is my favorite slide. So, what percentage of jobs in our economy now are unskilled jobs that you can come out and have a high school diploma and go to work in? What do y'all think? 10% is the answer. What percent? Sorry, I'm trying to rush. All right, I'll wait.
Where's that wait time?
Yeah, wait time.
What percentage do you think require a college degree?
50.
25%. What percentage require a technical degree? Y'all are teachers, y'all know the answer to this. It's what's left over, 65%. Okay. So, and you know, people can argue with that people with a college degree can get the other jobs they can't, but I'm talking about the base qualification level. High school at the bottom, dual enrollment in high school, and y'all know what that is, I think. Don't know what dual enrollment is. Then go to technical college, working as a youth apprenticeship in high school, and then as an apprentice at the technical college. University, technicians, you see, you go on up the ladder. And that, to me, that is so important, and that's how we move people up on wages and in skills, and that's how we have successful companies. Companies that use apprenticeship programs like BMW, Michelin, and Bosch, they bring employees in at a level, and they take them to the next level through education. Their wages increase, and they increase their productivity. All right, here's another question. During the when manufacturing jobs were lost in the 80s and 90s and in the 2000s, what percentage of jobs do you think were lost due to foreign competition? And what percentage of jobs do you think were lost due to productivity? Foreign competition, what do you think? 13. Productivity, 85. I don't know what the other 2% are. But there's a Ball State University study that talks about this. So people are assuming that all our jobs are going away because people open up plants in Mexico and all this kind of stuff. So productivity is what is the difference. Now, how do we stay on top of the curve on productivity? How can you get a job that is going to be in a manufacturing environment for productivity? Is to be skilled, is to go into these STEM and STEAM professions. I hope y'all all know about our technical college system. We have a great technical college system in the upstate that really we work very closely with and produces a lot of graduates in the kind of technical manufacturing related jobs that we have here in the upstate. The Ready SC program is the state training program, free incentive program to train workers in new and expanding companies. Apprenticeship Carolina, I talked about a minute ago, it's a combination of education and training on the job, in the technical college, in the university, to make somebody's skill level increase. And those have been wildly successful. How do we build, see there it is, Snake. How do we build that pipeline though? We have a great example in Greenville, South Carolina, the A.J. Wittenberg Elementary School of Engineering, starting the kids off in the engineering school, getting them exposed to those kind of things. Next high school, and that's usually the example, but there are also our public high schools and many of our high schools in Greenville that are equally or better that you can go to, and then moving into the STEM careers. Our universities, Furman is right here in Greenville. Clemson University, 12th best national public university. Money Magazine, the new U.S. News and World Report ranking came out today, and it was their 23rd, which is incredible. My son is a freshman there, trying to get him to be a STEM person. I don't know what he is right now. A social person. It says 21st, but it is 23rd this year, but it goes up and back. You know, Clemson is an incredible economic development engine and an incredible thing for STEM and STEAM in the Upstate and statewide. So we do have great collaborations here in the Upstate ComSet, which is the Center for Optical Materials, ICAR, which is the International Center for Automotive Research, new Greenville Tech Center for Manufacturing Innovation that takes students at the technical college level and teach them what they need to have when they go out into manufacturing. And then QBINC Biomed Engineering Institute. So that's kind of what we do, but I guess my message, and I want to take questions when we get up on the panel, if we're going to be successful in the Upstate and continue to bring in BMWs and the Michelins and the Bosches and all these great companies, we have to have a workforce that is going to be ready. We have to have students that are going to be ready. It's got to start when these kids are in elementary school and middle school and telling them about engineering careers, like at Ford and other places. Tell them about technical careers. Like a kid can go to work at Michelin, and Michelin recruiters will tell you this. You go to technical college for 2 years, get your degree in mechatronics, $50,000 a year starting out. I mean, we heard a presentation from Bosch today. They've got technicians that are making over $100,000 a year. And I know y'all hear about the 4-year degrees and these things, which those are vitally important. That's vitally important what you do. It's vitally important for our economy. Equally, or maybe more important, in my opinion, is getting these kids that may not be in that 20 or 25% that can go to college, get them interested in these STEM careers that they can go into technical fields, and then they'll have jobs, and then I can keep recruiting these people. So I guess that's selfish. But we're just trying to make it better. So that's all I've got. I'll take questions when we get on our panel. Okay, thanks.